everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with another layout for our Confessions of a Paper Addict DT, and this is using this beautiful music inspired cut file, and it's sort of, I can't remember the exact name for it, sorry, I should have re-looked that up before I filmed this voiceover, but it is this beautiful treble clef with the kind of I don't know what you call it, embellishments coming off it and music notes, and it's lovely. It's not a cut file that you back with paper or anything like that, so I really wanted to use it for two reasons. If you've been following our channel for a while, you know that I play music, and so does my partner. We're in a couple of bands. My partner's a music teacher, so yeah, we're very much into music, and this is a photo of my son holding my partner's, his dad's baton, which you use for conducting, and so it was a super cute photo, and I really wanted to scrap it, and I really liked this cut file. I also wanted to use it because it isn't a cut file that needs backing, and so I wanted to, I guess, show that you don't have to back cut files. Not all cut files need backing with paper, which is time consuming, but that you can still get beautiful looking layouts with cut files that don't require backing. So I thought this is a bit different to what we usually show on the Confessions of a Paper Addict DT, and yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, show you guys some versatility. So this layout has obviously a lot of music notes and music themed paper and embellishments, but it also uses quite a bit of orange, which isn't a colour you see a lot of in scrapbooking, but I use orange because you can see that my son's onesie has orange on it, and it's actually the logo for our band, which is orange, and so yes, orange gets used relatively often in my layouts for that reason. So I was messing around with a couple of different ideas here. I end up scrapping the torn paper look in a minute. I actually edited out a whole heap of my video because I went on down the track of torn paper for quite some time before I decided to scrap it. But I do not go with the torn paper look. I did like it, but I wasn't feeling it. And so I do switch it up a bit. I do use the pieces of paper that I've already stuck together that have the little orange strip. So I do still use both of those, but I just take out the torn paper and add another larger piece of pattern paper instead. So yeah, so you can see me here just still trying to make the torn paper work, but it's not going to. So my thinking, I haven't edited out all of this because I thought you might like to see my thinking. I was trying to work out how to feature the cut file, which is white, on these darker papers. They're the only papers I had in my stash that had music notes on them, and I really wanted to use them because obviously it's a music themed layout, but they're a bit more, I guess, sort of vintagey looking than what I normally kind of scrapbook with, so it took me a bit to get my head around making this layout work, and so yeah, I'm trying to incorporate this sort of darker, more grungy, vintagey sort of type paper into a spread, which is very much outside of my comfort zone. But I love the way this turned out, and I love the way that the white cut file kind of pops on this music note paper, because of that contrast between the light and the dark. I just think it works really well. So all the white bits that you can see on the page here were part of the cut file. It's just obviously the notes cut separately. Now, what I will say is, if at this point in time I owned my own cut file machine, which I didn't when I was filming this, I do now because I got one for my birthday in June, but when I was filming this layout I didn't. My sister was cutting all my cut files for me. I would have cut more music notes and more of the treble clefs, and possibly in different papers, to create my embellishments. But I don't have my own machine, or I didn't when I was filming this, and so I had to make do with what I had. But obviously if I had my own machine, I would have cut extras, because it would have looked quite good, I think, with a few more extra kind of music notes and stuff on the page and treble clefs, and maybe even cut out a bass clef I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I didn't do that. So you'll see me pull some embellishments from my stash, which are treble clefs and music notes that do look the same. Obviously, treble clefs are a treble clef. I mean, there's not a lot you can do to change up a treble clef, but they are actually ones that I already had in my stash. So you can see that I've pulled out a whole heap of orange paper. I just raided my little scrap folders for some orange that I wanted to back this photo in, and then I went through and checked against the photo which of the oranges kind of matched, because it's quite a dark orange, like more of a burnt orange than a bright orange, I suppose. So I wanted to make sure that I had those tones in the papers, which I did. I found some. So I am going to create some layers behind my photo. I do add quite a few layers behind the photo, just because I want to, for funsies. So yeah, you can see me here layering this up. So I will include a link, as I always do, down in the description box to the Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file shop on Etsy. And if I can, and if I remember, I will link directly to this cut file. She does have another music cut file as well that I really want to use. And so I will use that one at some point because I scrap a lot of photos about music. So I'm super excited to get some more music cut files from Virginia, and I will scrap them again, or scrap using the other one as well. But there's just only so many hours in a day, and there are so many cut files that I want to use, that I need to be a bit selective in my choices. But yeah, I will link everything down below. Go and check out the store. Also, Virginia has a Facebook group, Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group. I'll leave that link down below as well. That's a great Facebook group to join, just to get inspiration for layouts, but also just to chat to people and generally have a good time. You don't even have to have like a die cut machine or anything like that to join the Facebook group. It's not an exclusive Facebook group just to talk about die cuts that Virginia has created. It's a great place to just talk about scrapbooking in general, and to interact with fellow people that love scrapbooking and crafting. And so I highly recommend you join. But also in that group, there'll be people that can give you recommendations on different people that provide pre-cut cut files. So if you're not someone that has a die cut machine, but you really want to try out this world of cut files, and you don't want to make the investment into a cut file machine because they are quite expensive, there are some places that will sell you pre-cut cut files and send them out to you, which is pretty cool. But obviously it would be impossible for me to list all of those because it really depends on where you're located. So yeah, you should join that group and ask those questions, and people will have the answers for you if you want to try out cut files but you don't want to invest in a machine. Or you can do what I did and just make your sister cut them all for you. I did, however, invest in my own machine. So very excited about that. So I just talked through all of the backing of the or the layering of my photo, which was good. And then my child woke up, so I'm back now at a different point in time, with much better lighting. So I must say I filmed the first half in the morning, and the sun comes right through my window at my scrap desk, which is beautiful, but it is not good for filming. And I've got trees outside of my window, so that's what the funny flickering was. And then now it's the afternoon of the same day when I am filming or finishing off this layout, and the sun moves and it's a much better location for filming. I still get some good light in to scrap by, but it eliminates most of the shadows, which is good. But it's not always possible to film at this time. So, you just work with what you can. So I have stuck down the cut file. I just put little bits of foam behind it, and it took me a while because I had to cut them all to fit, because obviously the cut file is quite small, and so I did that. And now I am just creating a couple of embellishment clusters, and this is where I said I raided my stash for music themed embellishments. So I've got a few different treble clefs and some other music notes. So these are in black and red, which doesn't quite match the orange, but actually it's not a really bright red, so it's close enough that I think it still works quite well. So yeah, I am adding those. I'm adding a couple of treble clefs down to the bottom, and then I sprinkle the music notes around the page, and I'm really happy with how it all looks. I'm cutting up my dimensionals here because I don't want to waste any of them. use every skerrick. And they do need to be cut down because they were a little bit large for what I was trying to pop up. So yeah, you can see me there, just adding some foam to the back. Probably added a bit more than I needed to, but that's the story of my life. Always overused dimensionals. So yes, here I am now. I chopped off, I don't think I talked through it, I chopped off this part of the cut file because I didn't want it covering my son's face and I didn't want to waste it. So I just chopped it off, and then I was trying to work out where to add it back onto the layout. And I think if I did my time again, I'd actually bring it down a little bit, and rather than have it up in that sort of top right, I would have brought it back down to the bottom right just to keep that, the wave, I don't know what you call that embellishment off the treble clef, the swirl. I would sort of keep it all together, but it's stuck down now and I'm certainly not going to move it. But yeah, I think I would have brought it down a little bit, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So here I am laying out the embellishments, or the music notes around the page, and I'm sort of creating 3 embellishment clusters, I guess, even though the cut file kind of takes up a lot of space. I am creating sort of 3 clusters with the music notes in the treble clef, so one down the bottom and then one on either side of the photo. And then I'll stick all those down. I'll edit that part out. You don't have to watch me stick it down, but I thought once I'd placed them where they were going to go, I'd edit the physically sticking down part out. But I'm really happy with where I'm placing those, just creating my little clusters. Also trying to use up this stash. I've had these music notes embellishments for years. Years and years, so it was great to get them on a page finally. I don't know about you, but I find it very difficult to scrap with such specific themed items. They're certainly not something that you can just add to every layout, so it was really nice to get all of these onto a page. So you can see there I have stuck down all the bits that I needed to stick down, and now I'm going to do my title. So I'd already decided what I was going to call this layout, and I had organised my thickers before I started filming. So the title is My Mini Maestro, and yeah, I just wanted the mini to be in a slightly different font, so that, because I guess My Maestro was the main title, and then sort of the mini I just wanted to add in because to reflect that his father is the conductor or the maestro of the band, so he is like the mini maestro. I thought it was cute anyway. So I've grabbed my gold Heidi Swap Colour Shine. It is my goal to use this up this year. I really want to use this up because I'm not one to hoard supplies, and I love this product, so why not use it? I do have a replacement, not of the Heidi Swap brand, but I do have a replacement gold ink, so I'm not worried about using it up and not having something to replace it with. But I just think, why hang on to it? Why not just use it? So I am adding the gold Heidi Swap ink, and then I also have a orange Tattered Angels, it's called, Glimmer Mist in chalkboard, and sorry, that's what it's called, and the colour is Alaskan Salmon. So I add that. It did take me a while to shake it all up because it was quite settled. I don't use orange mist very often, but I have added that, and I really like how it looks. It's not super bright. It actually probably ties the red of the treble clefs and the music notes into kind of more the orange for the papers and stuff. So yeah, I think that works really well. And then we're done. That is the layout. I hope you've liked it. Please go and check out Virginia's Etsy shop and all of her cut files. She does amazing work. Go and join the Facebook group because it's so much fun to be a part of. And yeah, hopefully you've liked this, and we will see you guys in the next video. I am about to slow down and show you some close-ups now. But I really enjoyed this, and I love how it came together, and I just think it's a super cute layout and with lots of great memories. So we'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.